Welcome to the Driller Newscast, your update on the news, stories, and events impacting the drilling and construction industry. I'm your host, Brock Yordy, and wow, we have 30 days of summer left. School's back in session. Here comes fall. Man, has it been hot. The Driller team, yes, the newscast has been on hiatus because we've been on projects. We've been at events. We've been teaching folks throughout the industry. It's been a great summer of that and enjoying family. We kicked off spring at the New York Geo Conference at Saratoga Springs, New York, where we talked ground source geothermal. Then as we got into it, we ended up on projects talking grouting, casing installation, well development, then loop setting, geothermal grouting, well completion, being responsible stewards. It's been a wild summer. And as things started getting hot, we headed to DC to help support the Inflation Reduction Act. And sadly, the big, beautiful bill eliminated the 25D residential home tax credit for energy efficient homes. But there is plenty in the other points of 48L and whatnot. And we're going to continue that good fight. We still have to diversify and get it. Next, we found the Driller team in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, sitting in the convention hall with all the rest of the Jubilee attendees, watching Willie Robertson of Duck Dynasty fame speak about faith, family businesses, having fun at work, having fun with your family, enjoying and loving your family, sitting down on Sundays and having dinner. And I'll tell you what, the whole reason I ended up as a third generation driller and in this industry was those stories around the dinner table about finding that 5-foot section of sand and gravel that made the difference in an affordable water well and something that was high in minerals and just not good water in Southwest Michigan. It's big for us to think about this. And I think the Jubilee caps summer for me. And it has for many years as a kid to a young professional. And I'm going to jump into that with a discussion with a good friend of mine. Our feature is on the show floor with longtime industry friend of the Driller, Chris Atkinson of DJ Pump Service and Green's Water Well. We have had his son, Hank, on Ask Brox. His daughter will pop up on next week's episode talking about the drilling industry and FAA and how FFA, not the aviation, but the farmers who drive everything way more than those jets do. We're going to talk about that stuff. And then we also talk about growth of the industry, diversifying, and the importance of taking time in the summer to enjoy family, because that's what else we've been up to at the Driller. We found time with our families on summer vacations. I love summer. It's because of how much I incorporate water, and it's in everything I do. Boating, I need water. Beach, it's a desert if it doesn't have water near it. Beer is basically a malted milk ball without that 98% water and some hops. And this heat, wow. And I need to pause right here as we wrapped up at the Jubilee and it was 100 plus degrees, one of the hottest Jubilees we've seen. This summer is quickly moving towards the second hottest on record in the last 100 years, with right now 2024 being the hottest on record and 2023 being the second hottest. And then we jump into a 2020 and a 2019 and a 2016. So we've slowly been doing this. And I'll tell you what, without water, we get a lot of smelly people, right? Think about my trips in Europe. Sorry, European friends, I'm just kidding. So yes, June was the third hottest, with 2024 being number one and 2023 being number two. But as we look at summer wrapping up, 2025 is going to be the second hottest we have on record. There is an excellent weather expert out there, Maximiliano Herrera. He documents world temperature extremes, and he does this just before the beginning of summer. And, at that same time, that is winter in other places in the world. And the Northern Hemisphere recorded its hottest temperature in June of this year, 126.9 degrees Fahrenheit in Iran. Same time, coldest temperature, same day in the Northern Hemisphere was negative 15.9 at Summit, Greenland. However, in the winter, Southern Hemisphere, hottest temperature, Brazil, 101.1 degrees Fahrenheit, with the coldest on the same day, negative 110.6 at Dome, Fiji, Antarctica. June 28th, we had a drought monitor announcement that said we're in bad shape. And just as this is filming, the most recent, which is predicting end of August, shows 25% of our country is in severe drought. 66 million acres of crops, 65 million Americans. And if we look at it, it's through the Mid-Con. Look at the Ogallala states. Look at Missouri. Look at Mississippi. Look at Tennessee. Only the Northeast is recording light saturation. And as we've talked about Dr. Reed Maxwell's study with Princeton and Arizona State University about the interconnectivity between groundwater and surface water and the time it can take between 10 years, 100 years, 10,000 years to recharge those fossilized aquifers. Arizona State just came out with one saying we are depleting our terrestrial water table. And we're seeing it around the world, but we're really seeing it in the Western United States. We had a glacier deplete in the Cascades this summer. And as all of this goes on, right back at the top of the news, Nebraska is moving forward with suing Colorado, alleging that Colorado is violating its 1923 South Platte River Compact and depriving Nebraska of its rightful share of water from the South Platte River. They allege that Colorado has deprived them of 1.3 million acre feet of water over the last several years. This is according to Newsweek and multiple public radio stories. This is wild because the deal is that compact says that they are supposed to get 150 cubic feet a second of water during the summer months. And off, it's supposed to be 500 cubic feet of water per second in that compact. But at the same time, we saw Texas just last year sue New Mexico. As the previous year in New Mexico, the Navajo Nation sued Arizona and the federal government about their allotment to the Colorado River. The Colorado River Basin, those 7 states are trying everything to maintain, where for many years it was much beyond that 15 million acre feet a year allotment. All of the reservoirs were holding. But now, with our extreme weather shifts, as we look at this drought monitor, as we saw the massive floods in Texas, and we've seen these big storms and these big rains, but it's not enough time for absorption. And we're not catching stormwater capture. And to that point, right now, the study shows that Arizona, Nevada, and Mexico are set to face another year of reduced Colorado River water allocations. This will be the 3rd year, everybody. These drought conditions in the Western United States have made critically low water levels that federal reservoirs, Lake Powell, Lake Mead, have to put emergency measures in place. Just last year, we talked about how we were getting back to dead pool in both of those, and now we're going backwards. Arizona will again be reduced 18% of their total allotment, along with Mexico losing another 5%. And Mexico is not in a place as we fight over Rio Grande water at the same time with Mexico. Nevada will have a reduction of 7%. California, for the final lower basin state, they are a senior water rights holder to 100+ year water compact. They will not see any cuts. And as we make big, bold statements about, we'll just open that big valve at the top of California and the water will rush right down. That's not how it works. And it's coming from east to west, not straight down. These are big things for us because as we think about safety in extreme heat and how our people have to be taken care of, we are depleting water faster than ever. And we see this with the discussions on ASR wells and managing aquifer recharge and how we get into zero discharge wastewater going right back into an aquifer. As we consider stormwater capture and treatment, as we talk about data centers and we talk about the importance of geothermal, as we cut the IRA and we took away those geothermal tax credits for residential people, we need to understand those are chilling towers. That is water consumption. That when we get into ground source geothermal heating and cooling loops, that constant temperature, that equitable cooling, that equitable heat on top of reduction, groundwater and geothermal are interconnected, and we have to understand that. And so why do I say this is a big deal? Because one, we in the water well industry are growing for the fourth straight year. And 2024 revenue was $10.3 billion, up 8%, just less than 8,000 water well drilling companies across the country. As I look at Michigan, the most private water wells in the country, 1,100,000, I believe 14 right now, give or take. We're in moderate drought. We are seeing impacts to our water table that we cannot resupply in the next hundreds of years. MIT study that I was at in February said we are on par for 3.1 degrees rise, and that's Celsius, by 2100. Everybody right now, this record hot summer, the same as last one, we are 2.3 degrees Celsius above. And at 2.5, the glaciers deplete fast. And yeah, we get some of that back into our water cycle, but most of it runs into rivers, into the oceans, starts to decrease the salinity of the salt water, changing our currents. Sea level rise, there's plenty of pieces there that we have to understand as groundwater professionals to move forward. Because here's the deal. I've talked about this before, and it's important for us to talk about it again. Day zero. We have a term for this, day zero. This is when a water crisis hits a point in a city or region where the supply becomes so depleted that it can no longer distribute water to its population or its industry or its agriculture, effectively running out of water. We look at the cities right now in the world. There's one that's not even on the list because it's just so new and we don't have enough data. And it's the capital of Afghanistan, followed by one of the most populous areas in the world, Bangalore, India, where over half of its drinking water is lost due to urban expansion. Mexico City, these heat domes that we've seen for the last couple of years in a row, the city is literally subsiding. And we see this across the Western United States. Yale's got a great study on this. Arizona State has many studies on this. Cal State, we've seen this. We can see it with the GRACE satellites. We have subsidence happening in the Western United States. Mexico City is literally subsiding due to the zone of depression. We go on to Cairo, Egypt, and the fact that that's depleting the Nile River. Sao Paulo, Brazil, which has bounced back and forth in multiple day zero situations. Jakarta, Indonesia, again, from rapid urbanization and infrastructure issues. Istanbul, Turkey, due to deforestation. Cape Town, South Africa is where we started with the terminology day zero. And these are the things we need to think. Round out the list with Tokyo, Japan, Beijing, China, and Melbourne, Australia. But once you get past that, you start seeing Miami, Florida. You start seeing San Antonio, Texas. You start seeing Phoenix, Arizona come up on the list. These are very important things for us to think about. So as we are drilling professionals, looking at everything we want to do in this industry, and we start thinking about how the heat is impacting our day-to-day work and how much water our people need to consume to stay healthy. Should be drinking right now. I see that Ron left me a liquid death in the studio from the last time. I'm going to grab some. We have the best job in the world, and it is important for us to think about providing water, providing resources. And right now, I'm telling you, diversify your business, drill water wells, and install as many geothermal heat pumps as you possibly can. Let's jump onto this feature. All right, I talk about the Jubilee being family, the Jubilee being just this great time, having our families here. And this guy right here, Chris with DJ Pump Services and Green Water Wells, I have known, he has been on Ask Brock's. We have been talking drilling for a really long time. And I was talking about how 20 years ago, Bayreuth asked me to be their first intern, and that changed my career. And when was your first time being down here?
2005.
So the same time you came to, how old were you?
I was 22.
22.
Yep.
I was just 25.
Yep. So that
That's
quite a few years went by.
Yeah, I remember we were first starting doing Ask Brock, and you asked me a question about a mud kit, and like your kids were kids.
They were
like,
little. They were little. Yeah.
That'd have been like 2017, maybe 2018.
Yeah, would have been. Yeah, both of them were here. So yeah.
Yeah, and so the Jubilee program, the other side's the print edition for the driller that we do here, and then we do at the National Groundwater Conference. Chris and his son, Hank, are on here, and I remember Hank being a little dude.
Just a little
and
fella.
now he's drilling, right?
He drills some, yeah. He's doing a lot of pump work, and he turns 21 tomorrow. This is our family vacation, so we're.
And his 21st birthday is in. What are you doing? Are you taking him anywhere?
We're taking him to the drilling show.
Taking him to the drilling? No, I mean tomorrow night.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Top Golf tomorrow night. Yeah, so we're gonna go
Okay.
to Top Golf tomorrow night. We're gonna enjoy it a little bit and see, let him spread his wings a little bit.
We need to get Hank on here tomorrow on his birthday.
Okay, that'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah.
But it's great seeing you,
It's great
man.
seeing you
It's
too, man.
It's so funny. If we go back and start looking, I think we have a bunch of videos and photos of us like shaking hands. And like, I am definitely a lot grayer than I was.
I'm a little more rounder, and I'm getting a little gray there for sure. And yeah, well, you know, the all the ass brocks, all the stuff that, and the ones that I just texted and never got a video, have been a big help, man. And you know, I finally went to mud school this past year.
In Houston?
In Houston.
How was it?
It was great. It was great. A lot of smart people. I didn't know just how much I didn't know.
Right.
And how much money that we were wasting. So
So it's crazy because I did my first mud school. I turned 21 and went to my first mud school, and I thought I knew drilling.
Yeah, well,
and so I go to this first drill school, and that week changed my life. But I never thought I'd be a Bayreuth guy. So that week changed my life. And then when I graduated college after an internship, which changed my perspective on the drilling industry, when I went through the full oil field training class, everything that I thought I knew, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Like it's
every time I think I learned something, I learned there's a new layer, you know. And you're growing, you know, you're growing your experience so much. And you know, just like the mud school, you know, met a lot of nice people. Met your brother, did a great job presenting.
The better looking Yordi.
Yeah, I ain't getting into that. He told us a nice, awesome story about his first well, and I thought, man, that's what this is about, is, you know, growing and being part of families and stuff. So Love it, man. Love it.
That is cool.
Yep.
So a couple years ago, you picked up a new rig here.
We did.
How's it running?
It's running good.
Running good?
We drilling. We bought another one in December of this past year, and we actually bought 2 rigs last year. Can't keep up, just working and working.
How stressful is it to have like 3 rigs less than 5 years old?
Well, not too bad as long as we keep guys on. So, but it is stressful, yes.
So what rig does Hank get to drill on?
He drills on our Drill Max 250.
Okay.
That's the one he's worked on the most.
God, those rigs are versatile. Like that small wheelbase and stuff, they did a hell of a job with that.
They did. Great job. It's a good design. It's bulletproof.
So
the young guys especially, they're not intimidated by the size and the noise. So,
right.
Yeah.
So you got a Drill Max,
Yep.
You got a Jeffco. What else do you have?
We have the Drill Max 250. We have a Jeffco 30K that we bought in December. We have the 40K that we bought 2 years ago at the show. We have a 79 Porter drill, and we use that on our municipal jobs. We have
that's a big.
Yeah, we still have a T3. We have a Gus Peck. We got a lot
Brad
of
Brad or Bantam?
Brad. Yeah.
Brad?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's heck, you have your own training program right there with all your drillers being able to run different pieces of equipment.
We do. We don't have a drill on every rig, but we went to the show in July last year. We was here. August, 1 month later, we bought another company, and we inherited some of that equipment, and inherited some problems. But we're working through that and learning. It's growing, So, I've been telling folks, if you want to work, there's if you're in business and you're not busy in our area, you just don't want to work, because there's plenty of work out there. And we got, we actually have a real fortunate. We got a lot of young guys. We had some come and go, but we keep a lot of young guys, and it's growing. It's growing good. They love the family aspect.
Just one child in the business with you right now?
My daughter, I think that she will be more of a business person than I ever will be. So she was here earlier. They snuck out to get a cake for the birthday.
Okay.
We're gonna give a little birthday party tonight. But yeah, she loves getting dressed up, looking good. She loves talking to people and doing the business thing. And I don't know. Me and him might be working for her before it's over with.
Yeah. You could even ask Miss Chelsea. Maybe there's a possibility of a internship or something to learn the advertising and marketing side.
She's already talking about college and internships. So that'd be great. That'd be great.
That
She
would
loves
be
stuff
full
like that.
circle.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That would. There's the top of the cake, and then there's the whole party. So this would be the whole party.
What's cool is there's so many people in this industry that say, I don't want my kids working in this industry, right?
I hear that from time to time.
We do hear that still. And so what happened, a lot of great professionals left. But to find a thriving business and making water come out of the ground, doing geothermal, and then having your children be able to come up behind that's significant.
We were just in the Georgia Association meeting for the event here, and
Tucker,
you
guys got a hell of an executive director.
He's great, and I think it was Tucker that said that being a water well contractor, driller, is one of the most noble things
Hands
you can
down.
do. Yeah, and I agreed immediately. I mean that was a great way to say it, and a lot of times with nobility there are tough times, but it's just great. I mean, and having that feeling that you have when you do that for someone is great. And we're doing a big municipal well right now, so you think about all the lives that's going to touch. So that's great.
It's spiritual.
Yep.
And you once told me a story that you ended up working in the water well industry through meeting at church.
Exactly.
You were looking for a job. Did you think it would end up being a career and you'd be an owner? And
no, not at all. I the folks that brought me in treated me like family. They drove me in, and I was drafted in, and been loving it ever since. And we've really grown and got to where I would have probably never made it without it. So it's been great. Yeah, it's been great. Got to meet a lot of nice people.
Well, yeah,
made great friends and meet their families and things like that. So it's
you ever
great.
make it up to the Midwest? We want to host you.
I'm coming eventually.
Okay.
I gotta find somebody else to do some of this stuff so we can do that.
Well, it's cool. We appreciate getting to be part of your family's life when you guys are around here. And yeah, you texting me questions and me texting you stuff, it's fun.
Yep.
And this is one of my favorite friendships I have, and we only see each other, once or twice a year.
And it's got to be such a thing where I think you said a year ago or a year before that it wasn't a complete trip without speaking to one another. And
Yeah.
My daughter actually said, "You gonna go talk to Drought?" I was like, "Yeah, I got to talk to him." We ended up on the magazine. Of course, we got to talk.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't for that, it's great. But anyway, I do enjoy it a lot.
I enjoy it too.
Yep.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris. That was a wrap for episode 151. Go check out thedriller.com. Lots of great content coming out. Huge surprise for September. Brock and Dave, the Driller Cast, the bad podcast, has been picked up by driller.com, and there will be new episodes starting in September. It's Brock and Dave back in the saddle, Dave and Brock back in the saddle. We had a lot of fun, lots of technical discussions, not so much of the newsiness, but you know what, everybody, again, we have the privilege and the responsibility to bring water to people. And that is so important. It has progressed civilization for the 200,000 years that man has been on here. When you start thinking of the oldest wells, water has been the most important aspect. The Pilgrims were saved by the indigenous people of the Massachusetts, Boston region by sending them to where there was good, clean groundwater. I mean, we have so much tied to our heritage here, and we have to continue. Have a great week. Be safe. Tell your crew right now to drink a bottle of water. Drink 2 bottles of water. We have to be smart. It is sad to believe that 3 individuals, 2 under the age of 40, men, heat stroked out in June. And we have no idea what those numbers are right now. Thanks, everybody.